You wake up 10,000 years ago, and dinner tonight is the same as every night. A whole wild boar on a spit, shared by everyone, eaten as one long sit-down meal. You're not that hungry. You want 3 bites of something and to go back to whatever you were doing. There's no such thing as a little food yet. There's only dinner. Walk up to the fire pit and take one small piece before you get the side eye. Someone asks if you're feeling okay. You're so tired of being asked if you're okay because you wanted a snack. You don't want to fight the guy with the spit. You want to stop needing his permission at all. So you look at what's actually happening. Getting food means a person has to notice you, decide it's an acceptable time to eat, and hand it over personally. Cut the person out of that step, and nobody gets an opinion on your snacking schedule ever again. Just leaving snacks lying around doesn't work either. You've tried it, and it lasted 4 minutes before 3 cousins and a dog cleaned it out. Whatever you build has to hand out exactly one snack at a time to whoever shows up, without a person standing there guarding it. On the walk back, you notice something. A heavy stone on one end of a branch tips the other end straight up. A small stone barely moves it. A bigger one snaps it upright like it's alive. That's the whole idea. Something heavy enough goes on one side, something comes out the other. You just need heavy enough to mean the exact same thing every time, no matter who's standing there trying to trick it. You, being the genius you are, don't even blink at what that actually requires. An object whose weight never changes, that anyone can carry, that nobody can fake. Rocks don't work. Every rock is a slightly different weight, and the branch only cares about the number, not your intentions. Carved wood is worse. Soak it overnight, and it's heavier tomorrow than it was today, and now your snack machine thinks you're a completely different person. Turns out this exact problem stopped people long before you. Around 600 BC, a kingdom called Lydia solves it by melting metal, electrum, a natural gold-silver mix, into flat discs stamped with the same mark, made to the same weight, over and over. The stamp is a guarantee pressed into the metal. Every disc carrying it weighs exactly what every other one does. Electrum's gold-to-silver ratio drifts from one riverbed to the next, so an unmarked lump is worth a different amount depending on where it came from, and nobody wants to argue chemistry every time they buy dinner. The stamp settles that argument once, for every disc that carries it. But a stamp only proves what a disc weighed the day it was struck. And metal is soft enough to shave down after. So you test a few the cheap way, drop them on a flat stone and listen. A solid disc rings out one clean high note every time. A hollowed one, or one somebody shaved thin, thuds instead. Real coin economies ran on exactly this test for centuries. A coin dropped and judged by ear before it was judged by eye. Now your disc proves itself twice, once by weight, once by sound. Now you build the actual thing. You carve a hopper and stack it with small dried fruit chunks, one on top of the last, with a trap door at the bottom held shut by a peg, wedged into the lever arm. Drop a disc of the right weight on the platform. The arm dips, the peg pulls free, one piece drops through the chute and lands in your hand. Lift the disc off, it slides into a box underneath, and a counterweight snaps the peg back into place, resetting the whole thing for whoever's next. First version dumps out a whole handful at once, because the trapdoor swings too wide. You narrow the gap until exactly one piece fits through before the peg catches again. That's the fix. That's the machine. You didn't land here alone, either. A few centuries later, half a continent over, a tinkerer in Alexandria named Hero writes down almost exactly this trick and builds it into a temple wall. Drop a coin in a slot, its weight tips an internal lever, a valve opens, and a measured splash of holy water comes out before the valve swings shut again. Worshippers get their water without a priest standing over the jar rationing it by hand, and the priests get to stop arguing with people who think they deserve a bigger splash. Different substance, same coin, same lever. A machine doesn't ask if you're doing okay, it just gives you the thing. Nobody's used a machine before, so nobody's good at it yet. One kid waits patiently in a line of one, behind an old man who already left. Someone tries handing a disc directly to the hopper the way you'd hand food to a person, and just stands there confused until it finally lands on the platform. Somebody else tries pushing a piece of fruit back in through the chute for a refund when they change their mind, and jams the trapdoor for an afternoon. It takes about 2 weeks before using the thing stops looking like a small ceremony and starts looking like nothing at all. Word gets around camp fast, and within a week somebody's already trying to beat it. If you slam the disc down hard enough, the trapdoor jams open for a second longer than it should, and 2 pieces come out instead of one. For about a day, this is the single most impressive skill in camp. Somebody else works out that a softer metal, packed with river sand for weight, gets close enough that the arm still tips. It holds up for a week. Then people start weighing every disc in their palm before handing it over, like it's a personal insult not to. And an old woman appoints herself the camp's official disc inspector on the strength of being the one who complained loudest about getting a fake. She doesn't just weigh them anymore. She drops every single one on the flat stone by the hopper and listens, and if it doesn't ring right, she holds it up over her head like she personally caught you counterfeiting, even when you didn't. Grok, who happens to own the only stamping die in camp, notices something nobody else has. Nobody can make a new disc without him. He starts handing out a few extra ones to whoever agrees with him fastest whenever the camp argues about anything. Somehow everyone's opinion on where to dig the new fire pit lines up suspiciously well with Grok's opinion. Nobody calls it a bribe. Everyone knows it's a bribe. The machine itself doesn't care who minted the disc or why. Weight is weight, so it hands out snacks to Grok's favorites exactly as fast as it hands them to everyone else, which somehow makes it worse, because now there's a pile of empty wrappers by Grok's fire, proving exactly who agreed with him and when. Whoever gets stuck restocking the hopper develops opinions nobody asked for, that it jams if you load it top heavy, that odd-shaped pieces stick halfway down, none of it true, all of it defended loudly, and eventually everyone just lets him have it, because arguing costs more than the snack is worth. The best use nobody planned for. Dinner is still 3 hours of one whole boar and a spit guy who takes it personally if you're not hungry for it. Now you just grab a disc, get your snack, and go. He's furious about this for entirely different reasons than the ones you expected, and none of them are about fairness. He just really wanted you to sit through the boar. He was never really mad about the snack. He just wanted the company. Subscribe and pull up a seat for the next one.